What's up, crab cake?
What's up, milk toast?
Doesn't that mean like boring?
Yeah, I think it's like if you dip toast in milk, what do you get?
Does that mean boring or does it mean like bland, drab?
I think it's bland, drab, and a soppy mess.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Milk toast. That's fucking gross.
I used to know a kid that would dip buttered toast into glasses of milk in elementary school.
Yeah,
I always thought that's what milk toast meant.
that's super gross. Super gross. Why does Toad
I,
always
I'm
drink the bottled
just
water?
saying you're gross.
I know, it's fine. I'm like, I know.
A
I know.
soggy mess.
Toad is drinking water so loud right now.
What's new? He was probably sleeping 5 minutes before we
He was
started.
literally just sleeping because I went to work today and he ripped apart the couch again. And so that when I get here, he's just like bonk. Like he runs himself ragged while I'm not here and then he falls immediately asleep when I get home.
When you get your doghouse for him,
It got here today.
well, what's going to be great is once you get it all up and put together, when you're gone, he's going to be sleeping. And then the time when you're home and tired, he's just going to be nonstop 100% chaos.
I know I was thinking that. But I would rather have that and not have my shit fucked up. But yeah, so I worked today and then I went and bought a bookshelf on Facebook Marketplace and I took him with me. And then so the book, his crate got here. So I have to get off of here and build it.
Do you have all the tools to build it?
I hope. I don't know. They email me instructions. It looks easy. There's like pictures for each step. It seems easy.
Well, that's good for you, someone who can't read.
Yeah, I can fucking read. You're just gonna be mean to me this whole time.
There's pictures and it's color coordinated.
Well, okay, so I got it from Ukraine, so maybe they ship all over the world. They can't have instructions in every fucking language. So pictures is like universal.
Oh, it's so hard to run something through Google Translate these days.
You're like really salty today. You're like a grump.
I'm not a grump. I'm in a great mood.
Good.
I learned how to do a new thing.
What is it?
I learned how to reroot a doll's hair
Oh, with like a little loopy thing or something?
with like a little needle.
Yeah, nice.
So what do you think about that? I learned a new thing, how to put hair on a doll's head.
Did you watch that? Did you learn that on one of your creepy YouTube things that you watch?
No, I just Googled it and then saw an instructable about how to do it. And then I looked around and I actually had the tools to do it. And I have a Uhura doll from the original Star Trek and her hair was jacked. And so putting new hair on my Uhura from Star Trek.
What the fuck hair did you use?
I actually had some hair too.
From what?
Who knows? There are so many craft things in this house from me like thinking about doing something 5 years ago and not throwing it away. Like I just dig through a box and I'm like, oh, there's some shoes, there's feet, there's some hair, there's a rerouting needle.
This is very murdery.
I have anything that anyone could want to do is in my house.
You went under the floorboards and got a person that cut some hair off.
That's true. There's a lot of corpse hair down there.
No. If I cut some of my hair off because you use it on a doll,
I could.
creepy, but
I have an old what's her name from 90210 and she was also on Charmed.
Shannon Doherty.
Yeah, I have a Shannon Doherty doll and I could use your hair for her hair.
You sure could.
And then you could have a weird, creepy Shannon Doherty Jessica haired doll.
I hate it and also love it at the same time.
Can I just tell you something? And I don't mean this to sound anyway, but I know how it's going to sound. But the Shannon Doherty doll, someone was looking at her face when they sculpted it.
Whatever, I think she's pretty. In her own way.
You can tell they were actually, because some dolls, they don't look anything like the person.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like generic doll face. And the Shannon Doherty doll, someone was looking at a picture of her.
Well, I noticed in the first couple of seasons that I never noticed before that one of her eyes is significantly higher than the other one. And I don't know if I outwardly made fun of it or told anybody, but in my head I was like, that's kind of fucked up because once you notice it, you can't unnotice it. And then after I went off about it in my own head, I realized that one of my eyeballs is way higher than the other one. So that's what I get. So we're both just high eyeballed freaks.
Well, I don't think you've ever noticed that your face is crooked.
It's very crooked.
Yeah, your whole face is.
I know.
That's why you tilt your head.
I know it is probably, yeah. I'm trying to figure it out. Trying to make optical illusion. I was like a fucking that twisted. What is that girl in Crybaby with the twisted face? That's
Oh,
me.
I can't even remember now.
Can't either. Hatchet face.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's me. Well, we haven't done a show since New Year's, so I was reading up on New Year's superstitions, and there was like, and then after I read them, I couldn't do any of them on New Year's Day because I was scared. So on New Year's Day, you're not supposed to, and these are, I'm sure, from all different cultures, and I didn't write down which ones because I'm an idiot, but on New Year's Day, you're not supposed to do your laundry or you'll be washing for the dead or washing a loved one away, meaning someone in your household will die in the coming year. So that day, I legitimately wanted to do so much laundry, and I didn't do it just because I read that. And then it says, don't take anything out of your home on New Year's Day, literally nothing. No garbage goes out, no packages are to be taken to the car, or luck will go out and never come back, and not come back. And then the other thing, or there's two more. Be sure not to loan anything or spend any money on New Year's Day, as it will guarantee you'll be doling out money all year. And eat something in the shape of a circle, think donut, and you will have good luck. So I didn't do all the things they told me not to, and then I ate a peanut butter cracker that was a circle. And I gave Tony one too, so he could have good luck too. But I never heard those before, and I never did those. I don't know.
They're from different places. I mean, everybody does something different. It's just the intention behind it. Like, there are some places that say, like, we've talked about like sweeping out the new year and sweeping in the new year, but there are people who are like, you're not supposed to do any work. You're not supposed to sweep anything out because you're sweeping in bad and you're pushing out all the good from the year. Like, it's all just whatever your intention is.
Yeah, I read that one too. And I had always been told the in and out thing that you said, like the sweep out and then let new air in or whatever. And then what was the other part you said? Oh yeah, I had read that part too where it was like, don't do any work, like don't work on, or they said like you can do a tiny bit, but don't like work a lot on work. Like just take a day and just be.
Yeah. I think the good thing is that on New Year's Day, most people don't do jack.
Yeah, I didn't do anything.
I have no idea what day it was or what day it is now, or if I did anything that day or if I did anything today.
Yeah. Similar things have been going on here. Since Christmas, I really don't know what day it is or what's happening.
I really do wish you could have seen all of the pine needles that came off my tree when I took the tree out of my house.
Yeah, I had 1,000,000 in my car because you gave me a bag that was apparently under this tree and there was needles all over my car.
There were literally almost a full garbage bag. I've never taken a tree out to the curb, and by the time the tree got out to the curb, it had 0 needles on it.
Shouldn't you have like wrapped it in something and then do it? You just like took this dry ass tree and dragged it across your house?
No, I put a big sheet on the floor.
Oh.
And then tipped it onto the sheet and then like wrapped it and pulled it out. But it didn't matter. Every time it touched anything, like it got close to the television and looked at the television and winked at it and then dropped like 1,000 needles on the floor.
Oh my God. And you just took it right out the back?
Slid it right out the back and then dragged it around to the front.
Well,
they used to do a thing when I was a kid, not even a kid, a teenager. I don't know if they do this anymore, but you used to be able to take your Christmas tree to the recycling center and they would give you a sapling. And my dad and I used to drive around in his pickup truck and we would pick up dozens. That's how we put all of the trees on our property up north. Every Christmas, we would drive around and pick up like 40 or 50 old Christmas trees people were throwing away. We'd take them to the recycling center and they'd give us 30 or 40 saplings.
Dang.
Then we'd take them up north and plant them.
That worked out good. They should do that. I don't know if they do that anymore.
They should.
I know. Well, they should just, didn't they used to just like give those to people? I feel like I got those in like school or like something. Oh, so I keep meaning to tell you too, because I told you about the joys of a soft wake up. And then you've been starting to do a soft wake up. And then I got a crazy dog and I don't get soft wake ups anymore. Like the second, and sometimes he doesn't even wait till I'm awake, but usually the second I make any indication that I'm awake, even if I didn't open my eyeballs yet, even if he just knows, I don't know if my breathing changes or what. I sleep on my left side, like facing the wall, and he sleeps behind me, right? He will get up, literally step on my fucking temple, on the side of my face with his 30 pounds of weight, step on my face. And then today, so I rolled to stop him. He put all of his weight on, like literally his paw went into my eyeball hole with all of his weight. That's how I woke up today. just paw in the eyeball hole. He's crazy. Or he'll stand directly on my fucking boob, which I don't know if guys know this, but it's excruciating when something smashes your fucking boob. He's insane. So yeah, I don't get soft wake ups. And then sometimes he will go run in the living room and go crazy, and then I can lay there for a minute, but he's a tornado.
I'm still not good at soft wake ups though.
I know. I love my soft wake up. What I should do is let him chaotically wake me up, let him out, and then I could go back in there and lay down for like 20 minutes and fuck around on my phone. But usually once I let him out, it's all over anyway. I'm up. But yeah. So that's what's been going on. I was thinking that too when he did that today. I'm like, I can't wait till me and Tenney go on a trip and then he sees how this fucking dog wakes me up every day. Stands on my face.
He better not wake me up that way if we go on a trip.
He might.
No way.
He might.
Separate hotel rooms.
No. Then we can't have girl talk.
We can't dish hot goss.
I know we can't eat chips in bed and watch Friends. That's my favorite times. Did you watch anything this week?
I watched 3 seasons of Star Trek Discovery.
Have you watched them all yet?
No, this is the new Star Trek that's on Paramount Plus, but I've illegally gotten all 3 seasons, and I now have to watch the 4th season, and I have no idea why I'm watching it because I don't like it.
Between last episode and this episode, how many illegal things are you going to tell everybody that we fucking do?
I mean, everyone does illegal stuff.
I have Paramount Plus.
Oh, I don't.
I give you my password. I don't even know what my password is. Oh, wait. Do I have it? I don't know. I did. I'll have to check. I think I still have it. Oh, yeah, because RuPaul's Drag Race is on it now.
Well, they took all Star Trek off other streaming media services. This is what people said that was going to happen, and it's happening. Mm-hmm. Like, I used to be able to watch Star Trek The Next Generation on Amazon and on all these other different... Now, nope. Sorry, it's CBS All Access. That's it.
Yeah, who the fuck has that?
Well, I think it's Paramount.
Oh.
This is why I buy physical media. That's why I have every episode of Star Trek on Blu-ray DVD.
Yeah, I need to buy all the 90210s.
Have they remastered them?
I don't know. And that's what I was thinking too, because on Hulu, they're missing so many episodes because I couldn't get the rights. So I'm like, does the DVD set have them all? And you know what's crazy too is on Hulu, you get through the whole series and the last episode ever is one of the ones that's missing. Because like there's a famous song or a band in it or something. You can't let somebody watch a whole series on Hulu and let the last episode be missing.
They did that with WKRP in Cincinnati because when it first aired on television, Dr. Johnny Fever was just playing records. And then all of a sudden, when it went into syndication and they started to rebroadcast it, they were like, oh shit, we have to buy the rights to the Beatles, Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, Black Sabbath, so now if you watch WKRP in Cincinnati, there's like generic rock and roll in the background. It is terrible.
Yeah, that's like what happened on this. Like obviously like in the first seasons, like when nobody gave a shit. And then as it gets later, like big ass bands would be on it and they would play like a whole song. And now they couldn't get like the rights. So just big ass episodes are missing. So I have to find them on the internet, but not everybody's going to do that.
Yeah, and it's crazy because like it goes from watching a television show where you're hearing like a Black Sabbath song and then you're watching the episode now and it's got a guitar solo that you would hear at the end of Jeopardy.
Awesome.
But the reason I asked is because like the Star Treks that are HD Blu-rayed, all rescanned and upgraded and everything, It's so clear now. You can see like tape in the background and like thumbtacks holding the walls together. It's crazy. So for something like 90210, I would love to see like how dirty the floor is because it's just dirty from them walking on it all day long and filming.
I will say almost every other episode you see a boom mic. Like literally almost every other episode. I saw it so many times. I'm like, bro, lift the fucking microphone up.
Do you know how hard that is to do? Sometimes those guys, there's literally a guy holding the boom mic. And sometimes they'll do the take like 20 times. And he has to stand there for an hour with his arms over his head holding a fucking boom mic.
I know. And it's in like box shape, the show too. So I'm like, on old TVs, I wonder if you just couldn't even see that far up. And now I can see it. And they're just like, oh, the boom's showing all the time. What I did yesterday and the day before, I binged that show Yellowjackets that everybody's talking about.
Yeah, I've heard of it, but know nothing about it.
Oh my God, it's so good. There's going to be 10 episodes total in this season, but they've aired 8, so I binged all 8, and then there's one this Sunday and one the Sunday after, I believe. But the basis of it is it's like a championship girls' high school soccer team. And, you know, it kind of takes like the first episode to like get to know them for a second, blah, blah, blah. And then the whole point of the show is like they go to nationals and
So it's like a reboot of the movie Ladybugs with Rodney Dangerfield.
I can't remember that movie, but sure. But so they fly to nationals and their plane crashes and they get lost in the woods and they have to like, it's fucked. It just gets fucked. It doesn't really say where they are. The scenery looks kind of like California, or I think it might be Canada somewhere. I don't know. But, and then so the show goes between them as kids, obviously lost in the woods. And then to like every other episode or something, it'll show like the girl's backstory, like before that happened. So you get to know them. And then it flashes back and forth between then and then adult versions. And then the adult versions are, two of them are Christina Ricci and Juliette Lewis. It's just so good. It's so good. And I guess it was like created and written and directed by a girl, which I love. And I feel like it just gives it a different feel. And the other bonus of the series is like, it all has, like, it's backdated a little bit. Like, I think they were supposed to be in school in like 96. So it has all this awesome, like late 90s, early 2000s music in like every episode, like all throughout. It's just so well acted. All the little girls are good and like, you know, little assholes. You know, and they're like really good at it. And then the adult versions are like nuts. And then there's
how old when they're teenagers? Are they teenagers?
Yeah, I want to say they're supposed to be like 17-ish.
Brutal.
I know.
Brutal. The worst age for girls. Girls at 17 are brutal.
Yeah, you can definitely tell like there's clickiness and like they're all kind of different. Like there's one religious girl and just one like kind of edgier girl, and then there's another underlying thing though going on that they haven't really flushed out or like told us why or how, but there's like a witchiness going on too. Like a couple of them are like seem like haunted. Like some of them see like ghosts kind of, but I don't know if they're just like cursed from shit that happened out there or if that's like their manifestation of their trauma or some shit. But there's like supernatural elements as well as like the real story going on. It's so fucking good. Like I've thought about it all day today. I stopped to get coffee today and one of the girls behind the counter looked like a Yellowjacket and I'm like, oh my God, I'm obsessed with this fucking show. I'm like tweaking out right now.
Hey, was I right? How terrible was that coffee from Krispy Kreme?
Oof. I tried to fix it when I got here. I dumped a bunch of vanilla almond milk in it. I couldn't make it better. I dumped it down the drain and drank some pop.
Bro, it was the worst fucking coffee I've tasted in so long.
Yeah, that might be the worst coffee we've ever gotten. But today, when I went and picked up that bookcase, I stopped at that Overweiss, however the fuck you say it, and got coffee from there. That's what I'm drinking right now, and it is super good.
Did you look at the coffee maker I sent you?
I did, but I didn't order it yet. It's kind of expensive, but
you'll never buy one again. Like I was buying coffee makers like every 2 years.
I'll get it.
Whatever.
I mean, that's not. I guess it is exciting, but that's just not one of those items where you're like, ooh, I got a new. It's a fucking coffee maker. That's like buying a toaster. Like, who cares?
I do. I'm an old man. You think I don't get excited about buying toasters and coffee makers? That's my fucking lifeblood. That's where I thrive.
But I have this vision, even though it'll probably never get done and I'll never start it, but I have this vision for what my kitchen is going to turn into. And like, I don't feel like that thing works in what I'm picturing in my head.
I think everybody has that picture of what their house is going to look like, but it's never going to be that.
Never. I literally
my house,
and I'm like, it's not gonna
my house is never going to have a secret room with a slide in it.
You don't know.
You're never going to live next door and our houses are connected by a hamster tunnel.
Bro, yeah, we are. I know. Why do I think it's so cool? When I wrote that one, I tweeted recently that I thought like the highest peak of whatever was having a sunroom. But also my other one is like, I think it's so cool when people have like a breezeway, like a fucking like.
Oh, we had at my house growing up, we had a breezeway and it was the fucking shit.
I know. Why are those so cool? I need a breezeway. It's not fair.
I don't understand. We've talked about this before with like Elon Musk being rich and like millionaires doing stuff. I have always thought to myself, like there are 20 houses on my side of the street and 20 houses on the other side of the street. And if I bought all of those 20 houses at like top dollar value, if I was a multimillionaire, I would own 40 houses. All of my friends would get a house. and then all the houses would be connected by a hamster tunnel, and then we could all just like never leave this one block.
Yeah, and then you'd all like look out for each other, like, oh, I need this. Does anybody have a fucking piece of bread? And you'd be like, yeah, I got one. Come get it.
Yeah.
That'd be so sick.
And we'd have like those bank tubes that we could send stuff to each other.
Oh, I was seriously staring at those today. I picked up my script at CVS and I looked at the kid. He was sending the thing in the tube and I'm like, I wonder if like on his 500th time he still thinks that's fun, because I feel like I would.
If we all imagine that if you had a tube in your house.
I know.
And you'd be like,
if I had a tube to your house, I would send you stuff all day long.
All day long. It'd be thunk, thunk all day long, back and forth.
I just be like tearing an article out of the local paper, like, oh, read this.
Here's some cookies, thunk.
So good.
You have a mini bottle of vodka? Yeah, here it is, thunk.
I'm actually drinking the vodka right now that somebody sent us in our P.O. box this week. Brandy and Danny.
No, but my thing is like, I know that what I was saying about the millionaires doing stuff, like they're not even doing cool, fun stuff with their money.
No, not at all. They need bank tubes.
They need bank tubes and hamster like tubes to connect, and all of their friends living on the same block.
I know. I would want like a one of those air things, like a bounce house.
There would be in that block of 40 houses where all my friends lived, there would be a dog house, literal a dog house, and a cat house, and anybody could go and visit it anytime they wanted to.
Yeah, and a bounce house, and we could have one of those like little house bars like in Hamtramck. Yeah,
but anyway, so the whole point is that everybody has dreams of what their house is going to look like, and it's never going to look like that.
I don't know. I'm just planning my future kitchen around this coffee maker. I still think I could do it. If these people on TikTok can rip their house apart, I can do it.
These people on TikTok?
Yeah, I've seen these crazy ladies just taping shit to their wall and painting over it.
Just taping shit to their wall?
Okay, you know how we always say that, like, oh, the last generation is the ones that fucked up the wood floors by putting vinyl over it, that whole shit?
Yeah.
So this generation is going to be, people are going to buy houses that I think are nice, and then when they go to remodel, all of this shit that they think is real in their house is just going to be like a play set to take. These people like build out like built-ins and molding and designs on their walls and all this shit, and it's all fucking fake. It's like I don't know.
It's not real.
No, none of it's real. No,
I just watched like it wasn't This Old House, but it was a show like that. And they were showing like, tin ceilings for your kitchen and how you can buy literal foam sheets that look like tin ceilings. And you use sticky tape to stick them to your ceiling, and then you paint over and look, it's a tin ceiling.
That's what I meant. Like literally all these people are going to be like, oh, let me replace this, or let me like use this. And it's going to be like, oh, it's just going to fall apart in their hands because it's not real. It's crazy. I guess it doesn't matter. Like you can't outlive whatever. Just as long as it looks nice while you're alive, fucking whatever. But
I know, but it's like me when I moved into my house and I leaned against the fucking wall, and the guy who had lived here before me, instead of putting a drywall up over the hole in the wall, he fixed it with the cardboard from a case of beer. And taped it to the wall and then spackled over it, and I leaned against the wall and fell through the fucking wall.
I literally feel like I would do that. But so people can do that, like whatever, I can work something out.
When people flip houses in like a week, they're not doing anything good to that house.
No. Oh, I thought of something else. Remember we were talking about quicksand and like irrational fears the other day?
Yeah.
Or things that like as you were growing up you thought were going to be a bigger impact on your life, and they were not. I thought one the other day that I think of all the fucking time is the like how we were taught to believe that literally the littlest mistake would fuck up all of your laundry and turn your laundry one color. Like I don't separate fucking anything ever. The other day I washed a light pink sweatshirt with 3 brand new black pairs of pajama pants. Do you know what happened to the sweater? Nothing happened. Like we've been taught, oh, you put in one red sock and you turn all your whites red. No, fucking no.
I've messed some stuff up washing colors and whites together. I separate.
Yeah, but like
laundry.
you would have thought that it would have been like, oh, I'm gonna ruin all my clothes for my whole life. It's like, no, that never really happens.
Oh no, for sure. When I first moved out and started doing laundry, I would not put a black sock with white clothes. I thought that black sock was gonna fuck up all of my whites.
Right, it doesn't do anything.
No, it doesn't do anything.
No, I literally never separate anything, and I've never fucked up my laundry. So that's that.
I think mostly now, whether or not this is true or not, I'm going to speculate. I'm just going to imagine that the reason that that works now and it doesn't fuck up your laundry is because all of the dyes used on clothes are artificial dyes. And so they stick into the actual fabric. And before it was natural dyes and those washed out.
Yeah.
So everything we wear is probably much more chemically altered than it was 50 years ago.
True. But even there's that one episode of Friends, though, where Rachel ruins her laundry in the laundromat. It's like, okay, that wasn't that long ago. Like, I don't know. But I know what you're saying.
30 years ago, Friends.
Like nobody dyed it from berries. I know what you're saying.
30 years ago.
I know. Okay, fine.
I was thinking about, talking about age difference and stuff like that. I thought about this today.
What?
Because today was 10 or 20 years from, it was either, I think it was 10 years. 10 years ago, it was the movie Prometheus, which was the sequel to Aliens.
Mm-hmm.
And so then I started doing math quickly in my head, and I think I did this right, which was if a teenager today watched the movie Alien, the first Alien, which came out in 1978, that would be the same as someone in 1978 watching Dracula.
Oh.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. So like 40 or 30, 70?
Yeah, 30 years, 40 years.
Good grief.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
A 12-year-old now watching Aliens is the same as a 12-year-old watching Aliens watching Dracula.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
That is fucked up.
Mm-hmm. It's like when cinema started.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
And a 12-year-old watching Dracula 40 years earlier, movies didn't exist.
I wish we were 12-year-olds watching Dracula in the 30s.
I really don't think that we would want to be living in the 1930s.
No, probably not.
Probably not.
How would you yell at me for being on my phone all the time?
I mean, at some point, if it was the 30s and we are who we are, you and I would probably be married right now.
No.
Yeah, I know. And
we would be business owners. We would own the apothecary.
No. I'm thinking realistically about the 1930s and gender roles and stuff. Mm-hmm. You and I would probably be married, and I would beat you severely.
This story sucks.
It does. That's why I'm saying you don't want to live in the 1930s.
You wouldn't. No. First of all, no. I would beat your ass. First of all. Second of all, we could own an apothecary. We could be the weirdos. We could heal people. We could have people pay us to tell them to eat a frog leg. Perfect.
You would be. I watched an episode of You Bet Your Life with Groucho Marx. It's from the 1940s. Mm-hmm. And this woman comes on and she's 27 and she's from Illinois. And Groucho says, "So what do you do?" And she goes, "I'm a secretary. I'm 26 and I live in Illinois." And he goes, "Are you married?" And she goes, "No." And for the rest of the episode, he calls her a spinster.
At 26?
Yes.
Brutal.
Whatever. And the audience is on board with it.
Okay, sorry, whatever.
I'm going to start calling you spinster.
I mean, I think you already do. I don't really care. I embrace that shit. I don't give a fuck. Oh, I forgot to tell you how I fucking died of embarrassment the other day.
Did you poop your pants?
No! It's a UFC thing, okay? So I don't know how to describe this story without outing myself in 3 different ways, but I'm gonna try.
Okay, I'm expecting you the way you describe it to be as good as how you describe movies. So go ahead.
It's literally gonna be that good, especially since no one has any idea what the fuck I'm talking about. But some MMA people from Twitter fucking listen to this, so they'll get it. But anyway, so here's the thing. The fighter, Paul Felder, I'm a big fan of his, and I know him, we're buddies, whatever. So a while back, he fought Dan Hooker, and the lead up to their fight was cranky. Like, Paul had to go fight in New Zealand, where Dan Hooker's from, and when they go fight these New Zealand guys, they do this thing called the haka, which is like I don't even know how to describe it. It's like a weird dance / ritual thing where they get all weird and they like yell in the person's face.
It's made very famous on the internet by Jason Momoa.
Anyway, so yes, you know what I'm talking about. So anyway, so they did that and Paul went and he was a very good sport about everything and blah, blah, blah. And I get that people have to talk shit before fights. That's how you get eyeballs on you. That's how you get hyped up to punch another person in the face. I get it. So anyway. So I felt like Dan Hooker was a snot rag the whole fucking lead up. So I didn't like him. And then they fought. and it was a very controversial decision. I thought Paul won. Literally the whole internet thought Paul won. And at this point, it would have been Paul's rise. It would have been like, I don't know, he was at least 2-3 fights out from maybe getting a title shot sometime. So by Hooker getting the decision, he took Paul's spot. Then Dan Hooker went on to do fuck all. He lost like twice after that, fucked everything up, whatever. He's still good, but it fucking fucked everything up. So I didn't like him. And I would like send shitty tweets about him a lot. So then I have a friend now who I don't fucking know. I don't know how to talk about this. But anyway, I don't know how to tell the story. Anyway, so the other day, just fucking imagine it. I'm not going to say how or why, but this was, I don't know, the other day I'm sitting on my fucking couch in my pajamas. I had like just woken up. A person calls me on the phone and I was like, what's up, blah, blah, blah. And they go, hang on a second. And then I hear just out of nowhere the words, so I heard you think I'm shit. And my fucking heart stopped because I knew exactly who the fuck it was. And the person, our mutual friend goes, do you know who that is? I go, yes, I know who the fuck it is. And they're on speaker and they're fucking dying. And it's Dan Hooker. And all he said is, yeah, I heard you think I'm shit into my fucking ear. And I'm like, oh my God, I was hyperventilating. I'm like, oh my God, he knows everything I ever said. He knows I hate him. I was sweating, like my whole fucking face was red. And after he said, I heard you think I'm shit. And then the other person said, do you know who that is? And then I said, of course I know who it is, which like further incriminates myself that I would know that the person who said that is the only person I fucking hate. So it made it worse that I instantly knew who it was. So they're like cackling and I go, they're laughing and I'm like, but did you tell him why I don't like him? And then our mutual friend goes, I think it's because she's a big Paul Felder fan. And I go, yeah, that's why, blah, blah, blah. He's like, no, I did it, blah, 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 I get it. He's like, it's all good. I'm like, I didn't mean it. I'm sorry. I was like, I didn't even know what to say. I'm like, I'm sorry. Oh, so yeah. But he was a really good sport. And he has this show with Oscar Willis, another MMA reporter. And I was like, I like your Oscar Willis show, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, oh, yeah, that's a lot of fun, whatever. Like, he was so fucking nice. And then I'm like, okay, good talk. This was really fun. Bye. So I get off the phone, I'm fucking dying. And then I go on to Twitter and Dan Hooker followed me on Twitter. Like, what, how? So now I don't hate him anymore. And I felt, I will feel dumb for her. I can't even talk right now. I feel so stupid, but.
So now you've learned a lesson in being a moron dipshit on Twitter to people, right?
Yeah. Bro, right? That's why I went on Twitter really fast because I was like, oh my God, I had to type my fucking @ and then put Dan Hooker. I had fucking tweeted like 50 mean tweets about him before. So then I saw that he followed me and I'm like, delete. Fucking delete everything mean I ever said about him because, I mean, I didn't mean it. It's just like when you're a favorite hockey team and the other hockey team hate each other. It's like, I don't fucking mean it. We just can't like each other. That's like, you know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
It was a personal business, Dan Hooker. So, yeah. So that was instant.
Jessica the Troll.
I know. Why do people, like, you don't expect to pick up the phone and then some fucking famous fighter yells in your ear. Oh, so that happened this week.
That's your New Year's lesson on be a nice person to people on Twitter.
I know, I can't say anything. And I'm never mean. This is crazy too because
you're never mean.
Okay, but really, compared to the other people on Twitter, I'm like a saint. So if this shit happened to all of them every day, maybe they would actually act different, but they probably wouldn't. They would probably love it. Fucking dumbass.
Now you learned a lesson.
I know, and now I have to like him because he was so fucking nice about it. I would do the same thing though. If I heard somebody hate me, I would call and be like, what the fuck do you hate about me, you fucking idiot?
There are very few people that I've ever, first of all, I don't hate anyone. You know that.
Yeah, I really don't either.
And I think that people do, though. I think that people hate people that they've never met.
For sure.
And I think a lot of times if you have at least one interaction with someone, you're like, well, I don't like him, but I don't hate him. Yeah. And then with most people, I think you meet them and you're like, oh, I like him.
Yeah. And me and you too, like we can dislike somebody or like know that we wouldn't like them, but by holding on to a hate or a dislike, that's like only wasting your energy on it. Like we don't have fucking time for that. So we're just not gonna, like, I don't think about you enough to fucking hate you. I just don't care.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, obviously everybody who watches fights though, like has favorites. Like,
yeah. And that, not for nothing, but I think that crew is probably pretty jacked up.
Ooh, MMA fans?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, they're sports people.
Yeah.
We have an overabundance of energy for something that is unnecessary.
Yeah, we take this very seriously. And I'm like, and there's a lot of people in there too who like can separate how people act in real life and how they act just because they like them as a fighter. I'm very much I like people better because of how they are in the lead up and how they are in interviews and shit more than the fighting almost. So like if I see somebody do something nasty or like uncalled for out of the cage, it's like, oh, I don't fucking like you now. I don't care how good of a fighter you are, you know? So, but
Do you like the Pope now that he made his comment yesterday?
you know. Sorry, I have a dog. Sorry.
I can't believe, oh my goodness, I can't believe the guy who's never had sex and is a virgin.
I know. Did you see people quote tweeting that with the thing with Ty from Clueless?
No, what?
The part where she's like, "You're a virgin who can't drive," like that. People are quote tweeting it with that meme.
And the fact that he took his name, St. Francis, after St. Francis. His name is Pope Francis. He took it after St. Francis of Assisi, the patron saint of animals.
Rude.
Rude.
Backhanded. What, I thought this was the cool, wasn't he like cool? Isn't he usually cool?
He is usually cool for a pope. I think the problem is like he gets a little too cool and then he's got to say some shit to make the Catholics okay. You know what I mean? Like he'll say stuff like, of course we're not alone in outer space. There's got to be other life out there. Or he'll say like, it doesn't matter who you love. Like I think he takes baby steps, but then the Catholic Church gets on him and says like, you got to say something for those diehards.
Well, they know their shit is fizzling out too because like every study says that nobody gives a shit about religion anymore and nobody gives a shit about having kids anymore because they don't have money and the world is ending. So he's like, oh, better pump up those two demographics because
better make a comment that people who don't have kids and have animals are an affront to God.
I know. Sorry, we're fun. Oh, I learned of this thing the other day that we have to go see. I put it on our official road trip add to list. It's in Texas, which sucks because I don't feel like going to Texas. But whenever we're there, there's this legend that in 1897, they were building the courthouse. Or they were building I don't fucking know what the building was. I'm the worst storyteller.
You were the worst. The reason that I think that we get along is because we accentuate the positive and try and eliminate the negative of each other. And I am a very good storyteller, and you are the absolute fucking worst.
I know. Okay, so let me try it again. Okay, so anyway, so they're building some building in fucking Eastland, Texas in 1897. And okay, so they are, they seal up the cornerstone at the end of fucking building a building.
Yes.
So for whatever reason, I don't know who would fucking do this, but some kid standing there had like a horned toad that he was holding, and somebody picked it up and dropped it in the fucking cornerstone of the building, and then they sealed it. So anyway, 30 years later in 1929, they undo the fucking cornerstone and pull out a dusty horned toad, and they obviously thought he was dead. It had been 30 years, and he fucking breathed and he was alive.
First of all,
what?
This story, the story has been around for generations. It's happened.
Real.
It's happened all over the world.
It's real.
To the extent that back in the 1950s, they made a cartoon about a frog in the capstone of a building who, once they knocked the building down in the future, comes out. Do you remember the cartoon of Michigan J. Frog? Hello, Mahoney. Yeah. Hello. That's a frog that was trapped in the cornerstone of a building that lived to the future.
Oh, yes. Well, excuse me for liking the story anyway. Okay, so I don't know if it's real or not, but anyway, so they named him, what is his name?
Michigan J. Frog, and he became the sponsor for the WB network.
No, his name's Old Rip, the horned toad, and he got to go around. He went to the White House and met President Coolidge.
Is he still alive?
The toad. Well, no, he eventually died because I forget the story, but he had like designated babysitters, so he would go stay with people for a minute, and somebody left him in front of a fucking window and he got pnoeumonia and died. So they
should have put him back in that, cemented him back up in that corner.
Reanimate him again. But they taxidermied him or whatever, and he has this very fancy coffin box with red velvet in it, and he is at the courthouse in Eastland, Texas, and you can see him. So
does he have a top hat and a cane?
No. We could bring one. So yeah, if we're ever near there, I want to go see the weird dusty toad.
I just found out that Lucy used to live in Michigan, and I want to find out where she lived.
Lucy Arnaz?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
She lived in Wyandotte for a little while.
Why?
I don't know. So we can go and see your Michigan J. Frog in Texas. Have you ever been to Texas?
No.
There's a lot of good stuff there.
Okay. Yeah, I want to go. When we go on our epic road trip.
Is our epic road trip going to happen this year?
Yeah, it has to. Let's go.
All right.
We just have to figure out a month that would be good to drive cross country because I have like 1,000,000 miles left on my lease. We can just go.
Yeah.
Want to stay with people.
Spend a month on the road.
I was thinking like 3 weeks, but whatever.
That's about a month.
Yeah. We could do it. I've done 2 nonstop.
I don't know if I can do a month with that dog.
He's fine. He'll be tuckered out at least. Oh, your buddy Rob Safi followed our podcast Instagram today.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, look at that.
Cameraman extraordinaire Rob Safi getting a shout out.
Shout out. I know.
How are people responding to my Old Town Roasting song that you posted on the Patreon?
Everybody loved it. But oddly enough, I haven't heard one word from the Old Town Roasting man himself, so I don't even think he's heard it yet.
Uh-oh.
I know.
When is that going to go live to other audiences?
I don't know. I could put it on our Insta. We just wanted our Pates to see it first. And then we posted another goofy Patreon video the other day of us just tooling around.
I know, you showed me in jeans. You're not supposed to do that.
I know, Patreon exclusive. I showed Tenney in jeans, and they looked so good. Not the SpongeBob jeans, actual good jeans.
John Bob SquarePants?
Sponge Tenney SquarePants. I don't remember what it was.
Sponge John. Hey, I bought a robe.
Cool. I bought a robe also.
And it didn't come with a belt.
I don't think mine has one either now that I think about it. I think it's just like a rugby. I don't know what it is.
And I was going to send it back because it didn't have a belt.
And then you made one out of human hair.
And then I went and got corpse hair. And made it out of doll hair. No, I realized I had a sewing machine. So I made myself a belt.
Oh my God. Well, look at you.
It's a different world. It's a different world from where you come from.
Okay, I knew you were going to say it. When you said it at the beginning, I'm like, I used to love that show.
Now if I could just make myself some flip-up sunglasses.
I have some.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Wade. Yeah, I used to like those for road trips because they make good pictures. Flip-up shades. But yeah, we'll go on an epic road trip this summer. We'll stay. We have to go to, we'll stop. We already said we'll stop at Villisca. We'll stop at Belvoir. We'll stop at
Stanley.
There was somewhere else I put on the list the other day that I found. Oh, I also decided that we need to go to Flatwoods Monster Place and the Mothman Place again.
Oh my goodness, that's the whole other way.
It's like, well, I know, but just as a short one, I didn't realize because when I went to Point Pleasant, I've only been there once, and I don't fucking remember but I did it as part of a longer road trip, so it made me think it was further away. It's only fucking 5 hours from here.
Yeah, it's not that far.
I literally didn't know that. I thought it was 5 hours away.
No, you could take you could do a good 3 or 4 day trip. And what you could do is you could leave here, hit Lilydale, cut down to Point Pleasant, West Virginia. You could see a bunch of weird stuff over in that little area. Well,
that's out of the way. Lilydale's way out of the way. But the one you could do a little loop that goes down, you could do, or we could do what I'm saying, whatever. Mansfield, Flatwoods area, Point Pleasant, and then come back up.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, that'd be a good weekend. I want one of those Flatwoods lanterns.
I have one.
I know you do. I want one.
I think they're all sold out. They don't make them anymore.
That's not true.
I know it's not true.
Don't fuck with me, Tenney. How many times do I have to tell you you're wrong on this episode?
A lot.
Guess what else?
Oh, no.
I got on the Wiser Books PR list, and they sent me a giant box of books.
I don't even know what that is.
They make witch books, and then, okay, so this is what happened. Robin told me about them, and then, so they make a bunch of witch books. They're like Llewellyn, but not Llewellyn. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I wrote to them and I'm like, I have a podcast and I have blah, 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 blah. Because I have a decent following on my work Instagram now. So I'm like, fuck it, I'm going to ask. And then I said, we talk about all sorts of whatever, paranormal and whatever the fuck on here. So I had just asked about the witchy stuff at first and they're like, oh, hell yeah, blah, blah. And then they're like, oh, our sister, whatever, publishing house, whatever it is. We do all UFO and paranormal and stuff books, so we'll just send you both. And I'm like, okay. So I got a 12-pound fucking box today full of books.
What would I get?
I'm gonna see.
How come I don't get any of this stuff?
Because you don't write to people. You don't do anything. You can write to whoever you want and ask for free shit, and you don't. Do you know how much free shit I've gotten lately?
Yeah. I guess I don't do it for the free shit.
Okay, I don't either, but this is what happens. Because I see other people doing it.
I know, but I see other people doing it too, and I don't. What are they doing?
I don't know. I like stuff. I like having stuff to post. I like hyping stuff. It's fun for me. So I opened the box, and first of all, there's 2 tarot decks in there, and they're really good. And then I'm like, okay, I gotta stop, because I want to make like a unboxing video. So
Right.
and I want it to be real. So I'm like, I gotta close this box right now. So I'll see what's in there. But I know I did see an alien on one of the books. But
I'm going to write
what's your favorite label? Just write to somebody.
No, I mean, I think this year I'm going to write like an alien romance novel.
Do it.
Like I fucked the alien book. See if anybody will buy it. But I mean,
Yeah,
this is going to be written like a real, like I want you to edit it and tell me if it's getting too graphic.
Okay.
Like when I'm talking about aliens, like finger blasting people.
Oh boy. Well, will you have to call it something else? Like, will you invent alien names for like sex and sex moves?
Well, you know how everybody calls, like there's a whole thing for UFOs right now where they call UFOs UAP.
Yeah.
Have you seen that? Right?
Yeah.
Unexpected anal penetration.
Ew.
UAP.
UAP. Unexpected.
Yeah.
Great.
It's the surprise.
No surprises.
When someone's just washing dishes and they come up behind you.
No. You're a psycho. No. Do you have a working title for your alien romance novel?
I just told you it's UAP.
No.
Yeah.
It has to be like...
What if I call it We Come in Peace?
Oh, wow. I said literally, literally people will buy that. But you have to, would you do like a Fabio fake cover?
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Yes.
It would be an alien with like ripped abs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Would it be a space girl or a regular girl?
It would probably be a regular girl.
Yeah, I think it has to be human.
Right.
About it. No, people would legitimately buy that.
I think people would buy it for sure.
They would, just to have out like on your coffee table. Like people come over and they'd be like, "What the fuck is this? What the fuck is this?" Like, yes. I saw some weird book. What did I fucking find the other day? I found some weird book on Amazon. It was like you're looking at one thing and then it 2 bops over and then you're like, how did I land on this? But it was amazing. It was something like your cat is plotting to kill you or something. It was like, it was something about cats or dogs and it had the best title. And I'm like, oh, I should just buy that just to have out. And then I read the Amazon reviews and I guess it's like some crazy right-wing propaganda. And they got all these people to buy it because the cover looked cute. And they're like, don't buy this. Don't buy this as a gag gift. It's not funny. It's really fucked up on the inside. I'm like, oh my God. I was so sad.
This has happened 3 times now in the past, I don't know, 2 weeks, where I'm watching some random YouTube video and like in the middle of it, the guy will start to quote Bible scripture.
Oh.
And I'm like, where's this coming from?
I seriously wish I could figure. I'm like trying to look in I'm like, I've been duped. I'm glad I was seriously so close to buying it just because it was funny. And then I read that review and I'm like, oh no. I don't know. I can't remember what it was, but
it's fine.
It's fine. Nobody needs to see it anyway. Oh yeah, so now I have to fucking, as if I didn't do enough shit today, now I have to build the dog crate.
Yeah.
I know, I wish you could come help me.
Nope.
Ugh,
Sorry.
fine.
I got to put hair in my doll's head.
You're such a freak. Oh my God. Can you make that thing? What's the thing from like Toy Story with the spider legs on the weird doll baby head?
Yeah, I could make anything you want like that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what we'll send our Patreons. It's just like weird hair dolls. I have enough. I'm going to get my hair cut soon because it's too long right now. I look like a mess.
You don't want people to have your hair.
No, I really don't. You
right. Really don't. No.
Don't work your juju on me, people.
That's right. We live in a very weird, magical world.
All right, good talk.
All right, good talk. Go build your dog house.
I know, I will. I'll send you a picture when it's done.
I'm sure you will.
Meow.
Okay.
Meow.
All right.
Meow.
No barks from Toad or nothing?
No, he's sleeping away. Oh, he looked up. Wait, hold up. There. He's a good baby. He's a good baby. He's a good baby. He's a good baby.
All right, I'll talk to you later.
Okay, bye, dummy.
Okay, bye, stupid.